In the beginning, there was only water, an endless expanse of cosmic ocean that flowed through eternity under the soft glow of 1 billion stars. And within this watery abyss, life began to stir, first as tiny cells, then as wondrous beasts, all drifting with the current of time. But they were lonely. So the cosmic beings reached out across the tides and joined together, forming two great hosts, the Devas or gods and the Asuras or demons, who lived and fought for supremacy over the waters. But neither side could claim victory. So the gods and demons came together and devised a plan. They would churn the ocean, Samudra Manthan in Sanskrit, and at its heart, create an island of gold. There they would build a palace of jewels where the most beautiful women would dance eternally. In fact, churning the sea would produce many treasures. The gods and demons would share these gifts if they could find them. But before they began, they needed a tool. So the gods and demons looked to the mighty Mount Mandara, home of the 8 great elephants, and asked the mountain to be their churning rod. Now, you know, mountains don't move, but for this great purpose, Mandara agreed. He would become the axis of their enterprise. The gods and demons carried the mountain to the center of the ocean and set it down. But how could they keep it steady? Then Kurma, the giant cosmic turtle, the Kurma avatar of Vishnu, offered to support the mountain on his back. Vishnu's 4th avatar, Kurma, had immense power. The very ground trembled when he walked. His shell, hard as adamantine, would hold the mountain steady throughout the churning. Now to churn the ocean, the gods and demons wrapped a rope around Mandara. It needed something strong to withstand the power of the sea, and Vasuki, the king of serpents, volunteered his coils. The gods and demons pulled the rope tight, bracing themselves against the mountain. When they were ready, the gods pulled their half of the rope, and the ocean began to churn. At first, the waves rose gently, shimmering with the reflection of 1,000 stars. But quickly the motion grew faster and faster, the waves swelling like towering mountains, crashing over each other in a deafening roar. Each wave, born of cosmic energy, reached up towards the heavens, shaking the foundations of the cosmos. And in that frothing maelstrom, the gods and demons strained with all their strength. The longer they churned, the greater the rewards would be. First, a treasure emerged from the depths. It was Kamadhenu, the divine cow, her udder full of heavenly nectar, her eyes shining like stars. She floated toward the surface, then landed on the mountain with a gentle thud. The gods and demons cheered at their first shared prize. After some time, another wonder rose, a jeweled flower blooming on the surface. As it unfurled, it filled the sky with celestial jewels. The gods and demons dove into the glittering torrent, each grabbing what they could. But soon another wonder appeared, Airavata, the white elephant, the mount of the god Indra. He rose from the waves with all the grace of a dancer, moving among the gods and demons like a lord surveying his court. Then more wonders came forth. Apsaras, the celestial dancers, their laughter tinkling like bells, their bodies radiant as the sun, their hair adorned with flowers. And in the midst of it all, A golden lotus bloomed, and upon it sat Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, glowing with a divine beauty that outshone the stars. Gods and demons held their breath as she rose from the sea. No treasure they had found surpassed her splendor. The gods praised Lakshmi as she floated toward them, her lotus-like hands outstretched. But the demons, overcome by her beauty, forgot their manners and jeered at the goddess. Then Lakshmi spoke, her voice echoing with the power of creation, "I will go to those who worship me with pure hearts." And before the demons could respond, she vanished into the folds of space-time, leaving them empty-handed. For a moment, peace returned to the churning, the gods and demons sharing their spoils. But then a dark shape rose from the depths, twisting and writhing like a serpent. At first, it seemed like just another treasure, something strange and precious. But as it drew closer, a terrible stench filled the air, and the gods and demons recoiled in horror. It was Halahala, the deadliest poison in the universe, bubbling and hissing as it took the form of a giant cobra. The demon king Bali shuddered as he watched it rise. If even a drop of that poison touched anything, it would burn away its essence, reducing it to dust. As it reached the surface, panic seized the gods and demons. They struggled to free themselves from their task, each hoping the other would grab the churning rope and continue the endeavor without him. But none dared. The poison threatened all of existence, and so the churning stopped. Mount Mandara fell back into the sea, and Kurma dived deep to hide his precious shell. Alone, the poison writhed on the surface, its venomous fumes spreading across the cosmos, corrupting all it touched. In that moment of despair, a lone figure stood up. It was Shiva, the god of destruction, and with him was his consort, Parvati. "What shall I do?" cried Parvati, seeing the destruction wrought by the poison. Shiva took her hand and smiled. "Fear not, my love. This is my true form, and no poison can harm me." And with that, he leaned forward and drank down the whole of Halahala. The poison surged through Shiva's body, burning away his mortal elements, leaving behind only his divine essence. But instead of destroying him, the poison glowed. It filled his throat with a brilliant blue fire. When Shiva opened his mouth, all creation gasped. Within it, the poison had transformed into lapis lazuli, a jewel so precious it was said to be the favorite of the gods. And as Shiva swallowed the last of the jewel, his throat turned blue, earning him the name Nilakantha, the blue-throated. He had saved the cosmos from destruction, but there was still work to do. The gods and demons, ashamed for abandoning their post, now hung their heads. "Do not worry," said Shiva. "I will return the churning rod to the mountain, and Kurma will rise once more to bear the weight of our enterprise." And as promised, Shiva returned the mountain to Mount Mandara, and Kurma, refreshed, rose again from the depths to serve as their support. And so the churning began anew. The gods and demons pulled with all their strength, determined to complete their task. Soon, the ocean boiled and bubbled, surging with renewed energy. Then, after many hours of labor, the greatest prize of all rose from the depths, a golden vessel brimming with a glowing liquid. The gods and demons cheered, for that pot, called Amrita, contained the nectar of immortality, granting anyone who drank from it eternal life. But before any of them could reach it, a terrible battle broke out. The demons, stronger than the gods, reached the pot first and passed it among themselves. Each drank deeply, savoring the sweet nectar of eternal life. But Mohini, the divine enchantress, soon appeared on the scene, her eyes flashing with power. She sang a song of illusion, distracting the demons, while the gods grabbed the churning rope, pulling it tightly and refusing to let go. The demons fought back, but the gods, bolstered by Lakshmi, held fast. And though the demons struggled to break their hold, the gods tightened their grip, making sure that the nectar would not fall from their grasp. Suddenly, the demon king Bali charged forward, snarling like a beast. He lunged for the Amrita, but before he could touch it, the gods pulled the rope taut, sending a wave crashing over the battlefield. Overcome with weariness, the demons slipped from their footing and tumbled into the waves. But as quickly as he had appeared, Vishnu reappeared as Mohini, and with a flick of her wrist, she sent a jet of water propelling the Amrita high into the sky. There, the gods waited with open hands ready to catch the nectar of immortality. One by one, they drank from it, their bodies glowing with divine light. And thus, thanks to the churning of the ocean, the gods achieved immortality. And so ends the tale of the churning of the ocean, a cosmic epic, a battle between good and evil, an eternal struggle played out across the face of the universe, reminding us that the path to enlightenment is never easy. But those who strive towards it will surely find the light. Hey, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave your feedback below and subscribe for more amazing stories. Until next time, remember to stay curious and keep exploring the world of mythology. Take care.